Virginia was a 32-year-old woman living in Britain. She had a normal life, or so it seemed. She had a good job, a loving family, and a comfortable home. Virginia was close to her parents, who lived just a short drive away. They were a source of constant support and affection in her life. Virginia enjoyed spending time with her parents. They would often have Sunday lunches together, sharing stories and laughter. She cherished these moments, feeling grateful for their presence in her life. Life felt balanced and content. Virginia also enjoyed her work. She was a diligent employee, respected by her colleagues. Her days were filled with tasks and deadlines, providing a sense of purpose and routine. The work was fulfilling, and she took pride in her contributions. Evenings were spent relaxing at home, reading a book or catching up with friends. Virginia valued her independence, but also enjoyed the company of others. Life, for the most part, was pleasant and uneventful. Unbeknownst to her family and friends, Virginia harbored a dark secret, a gambling addiction that was slowly consuming her life. It started innocently enough, with small bets placed online, a flutter of excitement at the possibility of easy money. But soon, the thrill of winning turned into an obsession with recouping losses, leading her down a dangerous path. Virginia found herself spending hours online, chasing the elusive win that would solve her financial woes. The numbers on the screen blurred into a hypnotic dance, promising riches while draining her bank account. What began as a recreational activity transformed into a compulsion she couldn't escape. As her losses mounted, so did the secrecy and shame. Virginia withdrew from her loved ones, avoiding their calls and inventing excuses to miss family gatherings. The once vibrant and outgoing woman now recoiled from social interaction, her mind consumed by the next bet, the next chance to recover what she had lost. The guilt and fear became her constant companions, casting a dark cloud over her once happy life. Virginia felt trapped in a spiral of her own making, unable to confide in anyone, too ashamed to admit the extent of her problem. The weight of Virginia's gambling debts pressed down on her, threatening to crush her. She had borrowed heavily, maxing out credit cards and taking out payday loans with exorbitant interest rates. The calls from debt collectors became more frequent and aggressive, fueling her panic. Desperation gnawed at Virginia's sanity. She feared losing everything, her home, her job, the respect of her family. The thought of her parents discovering her secret, the disappointment in their eyes, was unbearable. In a moment of twisted logic, fueled by panic and desperation, a horrifying thought took root in Virginia's mind. Eliminating her parents would also eliminate the debt she owed them. It seemed like the only way out, a macabre solution to a problem of her own creation. The thought, once unthinkable, began to take hold, whispering a terrifying possibility. Driven to the brink, Virginia made a chilling decision that would shatter her world and irrevocably stain her conscience. She would silence her problems permanently, even if it meant taking the lives of the two people who loved her most. Section 4. Concealing the Truth. The days following the murders were a blur of shock and numbness for Virginia. She moved through life in a daze, mechanically going through the motions of her daily routine. The enormity of her actions hadn't fully sunk in, masked by a chilling detachment. The first hurdle was maintaining the illusion of normalcy. Virginia knew she had to keep up appearances to deflect any suspicion that might arise from her parents' sudden absence. She began weaving a web of lies, telling friends and family that her parents were on an extended holiday, enjoying their retirement. To further solidify the deception, Virginia created elaborate stories about her parents' adventures, sharing anecdotes of their supposed travels. She even sent postcards from various tourist destinations, forging their handwriting to maintain the facade. Her performance was convincing, her demeanor a carefully constructed mask that hid the darkness within. No one suspected the horrific truth lurking beneath the surface. Section 5. A Web of Lies. Weeks turned into months, and Virginia's web of deceit grew more intricate. She juggled phone calls, pretending to be her mother when friends called their landline. To explain her father's silence, she invented a story about him losing his mobile phone during their travels. She even went as far as creating fake social media posts, updating her parents' profiles with pictures of idyllic locations, accompanied by fabricated stories of their adventures. Virginia became a puppet master, manipulating the perception of those around her, keeping them oblivious to the gruesome truth. The charade provided a perverse sense of control, a way to keep her crime hidden from the world. Yet, beneath the surface of calculated deception, a seed of paranoia began to sprout. Every phone call, every unexpected knock on the door sent a jolt of fear through her. Virginia was living a double life, and the strain of maintaining her fabricated reality was taking its toll. The guilt and fear, though suppressed, lurked in the shadows of her mind, threatening to consume her. Section 6. Whispers of suspicion. As time wore on, cracks began to appear in Virginia's carefully constructed facade. Her parents' prolonged absence raised eyebrows among their close friends and neighbors. Whispers of concern turned into questions, gentle inquiries that Virginia skillfully deflected with well-rehearsed lies. The family doctor, a kindly old man who had known Virginia's parents for years, grew suspicious. He found it odd that they hadn't scheduled any appointments or requested prescription refills in months. He decided to contact their daughter, hoping to alleviate his concerns. Virginia, caught off guard, stammered through another fabricated story, explaining that her parents were on a remote island with limited access to communication. The doctor, unconvinced by her explanation, decided to alert the authorities. Meanwhile, the local authorities had received inquiries from the insurance company and the social services department, both perplexed by the lack of contact from Virginia's parents. The pieces of the puzzle were slowly coming together, painting a disturbing picture.